Welcome to Exposed. My name's Scott McLennan. I've been a photographer for many years. The last 20 years I've spent primarily in the South Asian country called Nepal. Along the way through the years, I've had the good fortune to encounter several photographers whose work I really admire and who just do an incredible job of communicating through photography some beautiful images and some wonderful stories. And today's photographer is no exception. His name's John Bulmer. He's from upstate New York. He has a varied portfolio of work, does photography in many, many different genres. And I'm just going to let John introduce himself to you because he'll do a much better job of it than I can. So take it away, John. Tell people who you are.
I'm John Bulmer, a documentary and commercial photographer, photo historian, and consultant based in the capital region of upstate New York. My work revolves around capturing genuine, powerful moments that uncover the deeper stories in the world around us. Over the years, I've worked in various fields: search and rescue operations, journalism, commercial art, public relations, and consulting, each contributing to my approach to visual storytelling. In addition to documenting the present, I am passionate about preserving the past. As a photo historian, I spend much of my time researching and restoring historical images. That helps people connect with history in a tangible and personal way. Writing has also become a key extension of my photography. It allows me to build narratives and create immersive atmospheres, helping me to delve deeper into the subject I document. Whether through images or words, my goal is to bring untold stories to light and contribute to the deeper understanding of the world we share.
I can't say enough good things about John, both as a photographer and a human being. And I deeply thank him for sharing the photos with us today that you're about to see and telling us a little bit about how he got started in photography and what some of his future plans are for photography. So let's take a look at the photos. I think you're going to love them as much as I do.
I got into photography at a young age, but it wasn't by choice. My father was a photographer, and he converted an entire side of our basement into a dark room. It was complete with multiple enlargers and a massive stainless steel sink from World War II. I spent a lot of time in my childhood in hunting blinds with him, sitting there for hours waiting for a deer to wander by so he could get the perfect photo. It bored me to tears. It wasn't until I was in art school as a young adult that I rediscovered photography. That's when it really clicked for me. I started to see it not as just something my father did, but as a creative tool that I could use to tell stories and express myself. It was like I finally understood what he was doing all those years, and it became my passion from that point forward. I enjoy documentary photography the most. It allows me to get out into the world and meet people, completely immerse myself in a subject. What I love about it is it's not just about taking a picture. It's about learning as much as I can about what I'm documenting. That deeper understanding gives me the ability to capture things in the most believable and effective way possible. It's a constant process of discovery, and I'm not just there observing, but I'm really engaging with the world around me. Every project is different, and that's what keeps me passionate about photography. My future plans for photography are evolving. I find myself working in photography more than ever, but I'm actually taking far fewer photos than I used to. The camera time has decreased, but the work around photography has expanded in new directions. Photography has morphed into something more about research, curation, and storytelling. These days, I'm more focused on photo restoration and historical work, researching images from the past to help people connect with them in new ways. I've also been diving deeper into writing, using it as an extension of my photography to build narratives around the images that I'm working with. Moving forward, I see myself continuing to blend these aspects, less about constantly capturing new images and more about working with the images and stories that I've already gathered and bringing them to life in new and impactful ways.
In addition to being a spectacular photographer, John's a photo historian, and he's been spending time recently restoring old photos and bringing to life scenes from, the early 1900s, for example. And it's fascinating work, interesting work. And he's going to share with us the process and one or two of his photos. And I'm going to have to resort to reading this off my phone to give you some background as to the photograph that he's going to be restoring. The photograph Was captured in 1911. It's an image that showcases what's called a puddling furnace at the Cajos Rolling Mill, which is situated on the opposite banks of the Mohawk River from the Star Woolen Mills. Described at that time as covering 500 by 160 feet, the firm specialized in producing shafting, bar, and band iron, iron for gas steam pipes, trestle work for buildings and bridges, along with high quality axe, pick, and matlock pulls crafted using a patented machine. Fire destroyed the company in 1883, forcing a rebuild. The reconstructed facility boosted the capacity to churn out an impressive 30,000 to 50,000 tons of iron annually. So we're going to watch as John restores an image from that mill.
When I restore an old and damaged photo, I start by using AI to recover the details and increase the resolution. AI helps fill the gaps, but it's just the first step. Once I have a solid base, I switch to Photoshop and Procreate on an iPad. I use Procreate to colorize the image by hand, focusing on details like skin tones and clothing and background elements. It's a hands-on process that lets me really bring the image to life. After colorizing, I add atmosphere, light scattering, subtle shadows, and other finishing touches that make the image feel as real and relatable as possible, almost like a modern photograph. Each restoration takes anywhere between 1 and 3 hours depending on the level of complexity and damage.
Well, I really want to thank John for being our guest today, for sharing his fantastic images, and sharing with us the process he goes through to restore older photographs and bring history to life. I'm going to leave a couple links in the description below for how you can follow John, and I hope you'll enjoy his photographs as much as I have over the years. Thank you so much. Until the next time.